Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon, and today it is another week of the OmniPoke Versus series. This time I'm joined by Pablo Meza, and you guys should all know him pretty much already as one of the greats of the game, so we're going to be discussing all the good stuff with him today. I'm going to be playing this deck again from yesterday's video, and it should be good fun. So first of all, how you doing, Pablo?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Joe, for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first couple of questions. Where are you from and how old are you?
I am from Mexico, currently living in Mexico City, and I am 29 years old.
Nice. And what would you say is your profession?
My profession is professional Pokemon trading card game player, actually.
Yeah? So, what would that entail? What's your definition of a professional player?
So my whole life revolves around Pokemon, between producing Pokemon content for Twitch and YouTube, coaching other people, and traveling to tournaments. That's what my general career is like right now.
Yeah, cool. And how long
and
have...
writing articles as well.
Oh,
Writing
yeah,
articles.
that's true. How long have you been playing for?
I have been playing Pokemon for 15 or 16 years almost.
That's over half your life. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon, I think it's Mudkip.
Oh, wow. Cool. So what's your favorite video game? Your Pokemon video game, at least.
I have a sweet spot for the first games, obviously, because they're the ones that started like my love for Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I really like Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl. Like the fourth gen has, I feel like it had so much nice diversity in the game. The game, like the storyline, everything. Like maybe I'm too old now to enjoy the storyline of the Pokemon game.
Sure.
But I remember I genuinely enjoyed playing Pokemon Diamond, and I don't know, that's my favorite game of the series, I think. I was looking forward to remakes of that, hopefully, but instead we got Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which are so bad.
Yeah, I was a bit let down as well. I do like Gem 4. Right, this one may take you a little while to think up, but if you were an Elite Four member, what would be your type and what would your team have?
Oh, I think I would definitely be water type. I think I've always like favored that type.
Sure.
Um, which Pokemon I would have? I would definitely have Greninja, which coincidentally I'm using right now.
Yeah.
I would definitely have Swampert to have that anti-electric Pokemon.
Oh, metagaming. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I would have Lantern. I really like Lantern.
Yeah.
And if I'm having six Pokemon, I would also have Walrein.
Sure.
Like Walrein. I would have what else? Trying to think of new Pokemon that maybe I would want. If I'm allowed something extra like to cover weaknesses and stuff, I think I would go with a Nidoqueen as well.
Cool.
I have a spot for Nidoqueen, and then that's five, and then my sixth would be probably Gyarados because Mega Gyarados is really badass.
Yeah, true. Nice one. Can you pick a starter from each gen? You've already said Mudkip. You like a bit of Froakie. What else do you like?
Yeah. So in order, I think I would go Squirtle. That's the first one I chose. Then Totodile. Then Mudkip. Then from Gen 4, yeah, definitely Piplup.
Yeah.
Gen 5, Snivy. I don't like Oshawott, so I would go Snivy. Gen 6, Froakie. And Gen 7, Rowlet.
Nice, nice. No love for the fire types.
No love for the fire types, no. When I started playing, I refused to play fire types.
Oh, wow.
Like in the first few tournaments I went to, I was very insistent on playing Swampert from Ruby and Sapphire, just because everyone was playing Blaziken, so I wanted to play Swampert. And then, to nobody's surprise, I started playing Blaziken, and I started winning every tournament. So.
Oh, that's got to sting a bit. You were so stubborn, and then...
Yeah. And then after that, I was like, okay, I prefer winning than sticking to water type, so I'll stick with that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Who would you say is best, Ash, Misty, or Brock?
No, I think Misty. Brock is very annoying, and Ash is just lame. So I would say.
Okay. Cool. Um, onto card-based questions now a little bit more. What's your all-time favorite card?
Um, I think Nidoqueen from Fire Red Leaf Green.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
What
not
was
not
that? Was it an ability that it had?
no, it had 120 HP, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
fighting typing, and then for one grass, it would do toxic,
Yeah,
which meant poison for 2 damage counters
yeah,
in between turns, and then it had Power Lariat, I believe is the name,
sure.
which did 50 plus 10 for every evolved Pokemon you had
Right. Yeah,
in play.
yeah, that's pretty cool. What would you say is your favorite full art card?
Ooh, my favorite full art. I think it's Gardevoir
Nice.
GX.
Yeah, can't argue with that
Yeah,
really. Beautiful card.
yeah, yeah. And my favorite cards tend to be associated with tournament results. So
Yeah.
that's the combination of that makes me like a card.
Do you play with full arts in tournaments?
Yeah. I just the Pokemon though.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
only the GXs I play with full arts. The rest is even non-holo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do have a soft spot for the full art Pokemon.
Nice, nice. What would you
Mhm.
say is your favorite deck of all time? Man, you've got a lot to choose from. You've got
Ooh,
eras to go through here.
yeah, my favorite deck of all time. Ooh, I mean, once again, third place at Worlds with Nidoqueen. That's hard to beat.
Uh huh.
Gardevoir GX as a concept is also uh, very nice to me, I would
Mm-hmm.
say. I really enjoy playing that. Um, but somewhere like in between those two, I really like the Lugia Blastoise Steelix EX deck.
Oh wow.
Um, that was like one of my favorite concepts. I really like the decks where you get to control your like, well, not control, rather you get to if you set up, you win. It doesn't matter what you're up against. So back then, like just hitting for 200 damage was uh completely out of this world.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
Right now, 200 damage is like meh. You don't even knock out Zoroark, right?
Sure.
But back then, 200 damage was actually a very impressive amount
Mm-hmm.
to be dealing. So that's probably one of my favorite decks. And then also for Worlds 2007, I played a deck that was based on Banette's EX.
Oh yeah.
And back then, there were no I can't speak today, sorry. There were no end. There was
Yeah.
no end, there was no Rockets admin.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal because decks were built around the fact that there was like no hand refreshing
Yeah.
cards. But there was only Vaporeon EX. So I actually made a deck based on Vaporeon EX and Vanette EX. So I won so many matches. I felt like I definitely broke the meta game for Worlds then.
Yeah.
Um, I won so many matches just because I would make my opponent's dead draw off of 4 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Holland engine was popular back then,
Sure.
and like it just it wasn't a good it wasn't a good way to play the deck if you kept reshuffling your hand into your deck. Like
Sure.
hands would go up to 12, 13, 15 cards throughout the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, I was just winning games off of opponents' dead drawing because of poor like poor deck building,
Sure.
and I was pretty proud of that. And actually, the current world champion Diego Casiraga
Mm-hmm.
used the same list, and he got top 8 that year at Worlds.
Yeah, I think it won in a lower age division as well. I'm pretty sure I have a Bayonetta EX like World's deck.
Yeah,
I think they printed it at some point.
yeah, Vanity X won, but not with Vaporeon. Like
Right,
it
right.
was it was a like a standard deck, and it had I think it had Houndoom, which prevented your opponent from playing item cards.
Okay.
Um, But yeah, my version was a little bit different, and it had Umbreon EX as well.
Oh, cool.
Hmm.
And what deck has brought you the most success?
Ooh, well, my highest placement at Worlds is with Nidoqueen.
Okay.
Back in 2005, third place. Recently, Gardevoir GX got me top eight of
Hmm.
last year's Worlds. And I don't know, like just this season has definitely been my most successful season
Sure.
in terms of
It's 'cause-
like placement and also money.
yeah.
And like every time this season, every time I've played Gardevoir GX or Sylveon GX, I've won a lot of money and a lot of points. So that's
Nice.
probably my most successful deck so far.
Yeah, cool. Now that you finally stopped playing frogs, you're doing much
Mm,
better.
exactly. I mean, Frogs made me national champion,
That's true.
but yeah, objectively, Guardy is definitely the deck that has brought me the most success so far.
Cool. Now here's a fun question. What's the worst deck that you've ever played in a tournament since being what you would call an experienced player rather than just like a noob or whatever?
Yeah, because the first deck I ever played had 30 Pokemon and 30 energy because I did not like trainer cards.
Nice.
um, the worst deck I've ever played, I would say, hmm, it goes on. I would say probably Jump Bluff, like back in 2009 or 2010,
Sure.
around that. I don't know. It was just like a super weak Pokemon that sure you could get out fast, but it just I don't know. It felt underwhelming most of the times I played it. Um, what else? Did like last season definitely Veltal. Like Veltal, I know it was really good, but it didn't appeal to me at all. I don't know why I accepted to play that. Like I even won a League Cup with it. It's just I definitely did not like the deck.
Sure.
And like over 10 years ago, I played a Hariyama EX deck
Yeah.
trying to counter Rocklog, and that's the only tournament I've ever gone all three drops. Only one.
Oh dear. Anti-meta.
Yeah,
Broken. Unlucky.
it
Okay.
really didn't work out that day.
What would you say is the worst deck that you've ever lost to, again, since being like an experienced player?
Oh, the worst deck that I've ever lost to. Okay, so once again, a long time ago, back to the expedition days,
Hmm.
um, there was this guy that was a huge Golem fan.
Okay.
There was a Golem from Expedition, and like at the time, um, I was playing for Alligator from Expedition.
Yeah.
So I even had weakness advantage on him. But for whatever reason, I could not beat the guy. For the longest time, I could just not beat the guy. Like any tournament I didn't face him, I won.
Yeah.
But any tournament I faced him, like his golems, he would play potions and super scoop ups, and like it was maybe it was like a golden matchup deck. I don't know, but it was like my nightmare. It was my absolute nightmare. I hated facing that guy because I could never beat him.
That's
Ever, ever.
hilarious. And man,
Yeah.
I know there's never been like a very good golem like ever, so that's pretty funny. Alrighty. Oh man, that's crazy. Okay. Who would you regard as the best player of all time?
Oh, the best player of all time. That's a good question. Um, I think Jason Klasinski. Like it's hard to beat triple world championships, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, like obviously right now there are players that have a record or like achievements that are comparable.
Hmm.
Um, but like the guy would just win tournaments as if it was like just another day, right?
Sure.
So yeah, I think I would put Jason at the top of my list.
Yeah, can't argue with that. What about the last 3 years? Who would you say is on top?
The last 3 years, um, I think Tord has to be at the top because it's not only the fact that he does well at the tournaments, but also that he's innovating, right? I mean, I'm sure whoever Tord tests with the most gets a lot of merit as well for that.
Hmm.
But it's like not only is the guy just outright winning tournaments, he's innovating. Like he's completely breaking the meta game
Yeah.
at the international tournaments, right? Where, yeah, I think I would put Tord at the top of my list.
Yeah, that's fair. Who's your favorite player to test with, or maybe even just exchange ideas with?
Mm, I'm always like talking or chatting with Mike Fouché.
Okay.
Like he doesn't travel as much, he doesn't play as much as a lot of others do, but he's definitely one of the best deck builders I know. Like I trust him completely in terms of his decision making and anything else like regarding playing X card or playing X deck for X meta.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoy talking to him, and also Ross Cawthon. Um, they're both like really good players
Hmm.
to bounce ideas off of.
No, definitely, definitely. And I know that Ross always has like a fairly different outlook to many people. He'll always come up with some strange and innovative decks of his own as well. So it's
Yeah.
good to have someone like that on your side. What about rivalries? Is there anyone who, like the Golem guy, you just can't beat, or is there someone who you would always just, no matter what, face like more than anyone else in a tournament?
Well, playing in Mexico,
Hmm.
there's this one guy, Christian Cruz,
Okay.
who for like at least one season, if not two, was like the golden guy. Like
Okay.
any time I played against him, I would just lose. No, and it was a different matchup every time, right? And we would
Yeah.
face in top cut, we would face at different times, but I could not beat the guy if my life depended on it. And yeah, then last season that changed
Okay.
and he couldn't beat me. He like the last time we played against each other was at Mexico City Regionals
Hmm.
and we tied. He was like one turn away from beating me, but I pulled off the tie. So so he still couldn't beat me the whole season. So it was like the reverse. And then this season I think we're even.
Oh, okay.
Um, and I think like he's probably one of the best players from Mexico.
Cool.
There are quite a few really good players, but he's definitely the one that has had the most success, I would say, locally after me.
Hmm.
Um, and he got second place at Mexico City Regionals last season. So yeah, he would be like my unofficial rival.
Sure. Cool.
And internationally, um, I don't think so. I don't think I've played anyone enough times to call them a rival. I always enjoy playing against the top players, obviously beating them, but I always enjoy having matches like the Sylvian mirror match I played against Igor
Yeah.
this past weekend. Was very interesting.
That's cool. That's cool. Where do you place yourself as a player on a national and global level?
What do you mean by place?
How do you rank? How do you put yourself in terms of maybe like top 100, top 50? Where do you see yourself?
Oh, top 50 for sure.
Hmm.
Like objectively looking at the limitless rankings, I
Yeah.
believe I'm within the top 10
Sure.
based on this season.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like I need to be more consistent. For example, I started off 2017, the 2017-2018 season super hot.
Hmm.
I was running very hot and I was making day two everywhere.
Sure.
And I even won a regional.
Hmm.
And then I bumped London because I played frogs. and then um, and then I did well at Memphis. But then 2018, I got more championship points out of um, out of two League Cups, out of a first and top four at League Cups, than at four consecutive regional or international level events.
That's
So
crazy.
that was that was really sad for me.
Yeah.
Like it definitely hurt my confidence as well.
Hmm.
And like just this weekend in Portland is like that was my redeeming tournament.
Yeah.
But before that, like 2018 had not been kind to me. I had 80 championship points from 4 big events and 82 from 2 League Cups.
Well,
So that really weighed on my mind. So I feel like I need to, like, I don't know exactly what happened. It's something I've given a lot of thought to.
yeah.
But I feel like that's one of my weaker points, the fact that I'm not very consistent in terms of results. And just like last season, I didn't make day 2 at any regional. I got second at an international and top 8 at Worlds. But regional level, I could not break through.
Right.
So, and then this season, I'm doing okay-ish at regionals and then bombing international. So it's like it's all over the place, and I feel like I'm lacking in that respect.
Okay, that's fair. What would you say is your biggest strength as a player?
I would say my biggest strength is visualizing the possible outcomes of a game and making predictions based off of what opponents might try to do
Okay.
during their turns and like trying to outplay them that way, or just recognizing my win condition like by the time we are like I've only taken 1 prize or something, and then at that point I can just like work towards that win condition and win that way. Like formulating a plan, sticking to it, and I don't know, getting those results, I guess. But doing it in a mathematical or statistically sound way, if you will.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. And what about weakness? Is there something that you're always trying to work on, or is there something you're consciously aware that you could do better?
Yeah, I would say my attitude towards losing. I am a very poor loser. And when things start going wrong, like in terms of luck or something like that, I get very disappointed. I get very agitated, etc. So that's definitely something that I'm actively working on. I feel, and that will always be a big deal for me.
Sure. I think a lot of people fall into that category as well. You're not alone there.
Yeah.
When was the last tournament you attended, or what was it? What was the tournament?
The last tournament was Portland Regionals just this past weekend.
And how'd you do?
I got top 16 with Sylvian.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. A deck that I feel plays to my strength of predicting what your opponent will try to do and formulating a plan and playing towards the knowledge or the possible like educated guesses of their list, their energy counts, etc., and planning ahead, like knowing what they're going to do before they do it, and then you already prepared for that, and then like being 2 or 3 steps ahead.
Well, yeah, Sylveon's literally the perfect deck if that's your strength. Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly what you're looking for. Nice.
Yeah, and it was also like an out of the comfort zone deck because of timing issues, because it's not a I'll attach energy and attack and knock out type of deal. So that's why I use the deck to have like that extra variety.
Sure. What's been the best result in the last year?
In the last year, so in this season or like
Sure,
from
let's
March?
go this season. Go this season. We all know the
Uh,
world's placements.
Yeah, so first place at Vancouver Regionals. I was pretty proud of that because I had to go through so many Gardevoir Sylveon mirror matches. And in some I got lucky, in some I made better decisions, but overall, I was pretty proud of that. Especially after not like I hadn't top 8 at regional yet, and then the first one I did, I won. So I was pretty proud of that.
Nice, you got me. Okay, let's move on to the next game. What's your favorite world's location?
My favorite world's location, definitely California. San Diego and Anaheim, I feel like have been the best places. I didn't go to Vancouver, so I can't say if that was really good or not. I imagine it was because Vancouver looks like an amazing place.
Right.
But my favorite would definitely be anytime it's in California. It's an enjoyable time between Disney and the weather and everything.
Yeah, sure. What would you say is your proudest tournament result of all time? Not necessarily the best, but the one that you feel is, closest to you.
I think becoming national champion in 2016, that meant a lot to me personally, and it was also like on Father's Day, so that added a layer of emotion to it.
Sure, sure. Okay, let's talk about the current format. What would you say is the best deck currently in Standard?
Oof. The best deck is the one that hits the right matchups. um, the most, I don't know, the most consistent deck overall, or the best, I don't know. Just the meta is all over the place. It's really, really hard to say. I still think not Lucario, Zoroark decks are the strongest, just because of their inherent ability to guarantee the cards that you will need pretty much every turn. Other than that, I think Vikabulu is actually at a really good position in the meta right now.
Yeah.
Not the best deck, but definitely in a strong situation. And then I think Greninja will always be one of the best decks that is the least played because of its inherent capability of shooting itself in the foot. So I like those decks.
Nice. And what about Expanded? What would you say is the best in Expanded?
I think it's definitely between Drumpagarb and Zoroark decks. That Expanded is definitely a lot more defined. Whereas I feel like in the beginning of the season, Expanded was like, well, just play whatever you like. They're all really good. Now it's all about playing either Zoroark or heavily counter Zoroark.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no way around it.
Yeah, that's fair. Which format do you prefer to play?
Definitely Standard.
Okay.
I've seen more success in Standard. I feel more comfortable, and the wider variety of decks I feel like is nicer because I'm not a fan of mirror matches.
Right.
Simply because I feel like they come down if both players get similar setups, it comes down to who flipped heads in the beginning of the game, which is never fun.
Yeah.
And then if you get a little bit unlucky or you fall a little bit behind, if your opponent recognizes the advantage they have the exact same cards that you have to be able to keep that advantage or to prevent you from recovering from that advantage. So Expanded right now is full of Zoroark mirrors, which I personally don't enjoy playing. And Standard it's quite different because it's Zoroark with something else, and that something else always makes a difference in how the games are played. But in Expanded, it's just pure Zoroark every time.
Okay, cool. If you could ban any card from Expanded and Standard, like one of each, or maybe even the same one in both formats, what would you pick?
I think I would ban Battle Compressor in Expanded.
Yeah.
I think that card has outlived its usefulness in the format, for sure. And then in Standard, I don't think I would ban any card in Standard. Like not even Zoroark, because Zoroark allows strategies to be played. Like people don't like seeing Zoroark decks, but it's not essentially like Zoroark is just there trading and giving yourself or your opponent the chance to execute their strategy as they're intending it to. Most of the time. So I don't see that as a problem, honestly. So I don't think I would ban any card in Standard.
Cool, that's fine. That's a good sign, I guess, for the format they're in right now. As a player, do you prefer to master just one or two decks, or sort of like tweak as you go, or do you like to hone in on one deck? Or would you like to pretty much play anything on the day if you think it's the right play for the tournament?
Yeah, I feel like having that like having the ability to expand your I have the nuts with it's like this deck is just insane. um, I have three choice bands just waiting for you to get
Cool.
rid of some of
Cool.
them. Yeah, so sorry, what was the question?
Do
I
you
got
prefer
lost.
to master one or two, or would you pretty much play
Yeah,
anything?
so I think a huge trait of successful players in this game uh, is or should be the fact that you can just pick up a deck and like any deck, even if it's not the one that you've been focusing on for last week, and play it to a point where maybe it's not to the best of your ability, but it's to a point where you would still outplay a lot of people simply because of your own skill and your ability to analyze and uh, make decisions, make the right decisions.
Uh-huh.
Um, so that's like my focus. I feel like you have to be good with every deck or potentially every deck in order to be the most successful because like Pokemon is a game of information, right? So the more you know about all of the decks, the better decisions you will take throughout any given game
Sure.
because you can make educated guesses on what your opponent is playing or what they might do or their counts and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it also now that I'm dedicated to this full time and with all the coaching that I do, I end up playing every deck so many times against so many different people because they all want to work on different stuff or they want to um, like get practice against different stuff. So it's like my duty as well at this point to be good at every deck or be like try to be good at every deck.
Sure.
So that they get quality knowledge and quality practice.
Uh-huh.
So at this point, I don't even get a choice, right? I want to and I try to be good at most or every deck in order to give the best possible um, access to knowledge to the people that I coach.
Nice. Would you say that you have a certain philosophy or playstyle that you prefer to go for when you choose a deck? Is there something that you will normally tend towards? Like you said, you like big setup decks that are unbeatable. Is it that really your philosophy?
Yeah, sometimes, or I tend towards those type of decks. Like if I have a choice out of four different decks and there's no clear winner between different like possible options, then I will usually favor the deck that allows me to rely more on what I have than what my opponent might try to do.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, like big. I don't care what you're gonna do as long as I set up, I win. Those are the type of decks I tend to favor, and anything that doesn't have flips. Like I had a bad time playing flippy cards this weekend with Sylvian.
Okay.
That's part of my philosophy.
Right.
Whenever possible, do not play a deck that has a lot of flipping cards. I
Sure.
broke it for this weekend, but like I said, I wanted to get out of my comfort zone.
There you
And
go.
even if I flipped like 25% heads overall, I kept track. I still managed a good result, so I was happy with that.
Nice one. Would you call yourself superstitious? Do you have any lucky charms that you take with you, or a certain routine that you'll do at every event?
Um, Not really. Um, I don't think I'm superstitious because I try to approach the game in a like statistical and mathematical way. But I do use like the Tablemon shoes that my girlfriend got for me
Oh
for
yeah.
my birthday last year. And then she also gave me a pendant,
Okay.
which I know is important for her for me to wear. So and I like it, so I use it. But I don't think that's the reason I'm doing well or something like that. It's
Okay.
just it's like something that comes with positive thoughts and positive feelings. So it's nice to wear.
Cool. Um, do you pay much attention to foreign tournaments?
Yes, I try to pay attention to every single tournament.
Do you how do you sort of analyze those results compared to like your home country?
Okay. So I mean, I definitely don't pay attention to results in Mexico because
Oh, right. Yeah,
we
yeah.
haven't had a big event whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
But like I always make it a point to make sure that I'm looking at the top lists. I am recognizing what's good, what isn't, and like the trends in the meta. And the Limitless site has made it incredible
Yep.
because of the fact that now you get like a bigger picture than the top eight.
Sure.
So I'm always taking a look at our regionals. Now there's been like a huge influx of special events. I definitely haven't been paying attention as much to those.
Yep.
Like if they're under like 40 people, which are the case for Latin America, but the special events in Europe, I do feel are relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I do try to pay attention to every event to see trends, to see interesting deck lists. So like I said, the more information you have, the better. So I'm all day I'm filled with uh, looking at lists, looking at videos, thinking about Pokemon, talking about Pokemon, etc.
Yeah. Cool. So before a big event, do you have a set routine that you'll always do? What's your testing process?
um, right now, my testing process is basically I test a lot with all the people that I coach. Like, obviously, it's not just testing, but we get a lot of games in, or I get a lot of games in, and I'm keeping track of every single game I've played this year.
Right.
So even these games are going into the spreadsheet,
Sure.
and so far I've played over 1,200 games,
That's a lot.
Pokemon since the 1st of January. Yeah, it is a lot. So that's my testing, like just grinding out a stupid amount of games, honestly.
And will you
Uh,
always go by those stats? Is it the one that gives you the most wins, or is it?
not necessarily. There's also some like intuition
Uh
that
huh.
goes into it. There's also like the day before the tournament where you meet up with your colleagues and you get quite a few games in on the night before the tournament.
Sure.
That's also pretty relevant, I guess. But yeah, the bulk of the games and the testing definitely happens at during the week with all the people that I coach.
Okay. Cool. And what's the next tournament that you're preparing for?
Now it's Brazil. We have a huge break this this month.
Yep.
Uh, I'm not going to Stuttgart, so
Yeah.
there's just this huge break, and I'm gonna use that to test for Brazil, to focus on Brazil now.
Cool. And how much time would you say that you spend a week on Pokemon as a whole? You coach, you make videos, you do everything. How much would you put maybe a week?
Oof, at least 60 hours.
Yeah.
It varies a lot. Well, not a lot, but uh, like if I have a weekend where I have a regional, then I'm gonna be doing extra hours. If there's no regional, then it's less. But I'm averaging anywhere between 6 to 10 hours of coaching per day.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then after that, like I still go and stream, and I still upload videos to YouTube and post on social media and read articles and read tournament reports and all of those good things. So
Lots and lots of hours of Pokemon. My
yeah.
goodness. Okay. Have there been any cards or decks that you were super excited when you sort of saw them released or whatever, or maybe you first built it and then it completely flopped after testing?
Uh, the deck you're currently playing,
Oh no.
I was very disappointed with its performance, honestly.
Yeah.
And my like I in theory it felt like, oh, this is gonna be such a good deck, and then in practice it just ended up sucking really badly.
Uh huh.
Um, and then like just cards, like a specific card, Necrozma GX. I feel like there was a lot of hype
Uh huh.
revolving around Necrozma. And it looks to have a lot of potential. Like 100 damage to every GX seems insane, but it just never ended up working out for him.
Uh huh.
What other cards? Salazzle GX felt good in theory, but then it ended up being a little underwhelming as well.
Hmm.
What else? Lucario. Lucario this weekend felt strong
Sure.
against all Zoroark decks, but then outside of Zoroark, it felt very, very underwhelming.
Okay.
Like it felt like every time I used Lucario with Zoroark, I would crush Zoroark decks, but then against everything else, I would struggle.
Right.
And using Lucario in other decks, like the Lucario's partner ended up putting in more work than the actual Lucario. Either Lycanroc or Buzzwole just ended up putting a lot more work.
That's fair. So going forward, you just try out. Do you rate the Zoroark build of Lucario?
I do, if the meta is right for it. Like I feel like it's the strongest Zoroark variant against other Zoroark decks, but not necessarily the strongest Zoroark variant for any given meta game.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
What new cards or decks are you excited about from the new set coming out?
Um, I like. I really like the Malamar strategy, which is obviously, well, it's like very obvious. But I like that one simply because I've always been a big fan of getting resources back from the discard pile,
Sure.
which like makes the deck super efficient and whatnot. So I always enjoyed playing Blaziken back in the day. I enjoyed playing Electric, Bronzong. So this is like those decks with steroids, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot more powerful. So I like the and then UGX, which I don't even know the name of, but that combo, which is the obvious combo from the new set, but I feel like it's gonna be pretty good.
It's some sort of Necrozma. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, the golden chicken guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. When a new set comes out, are you buying singles or do you buy boxes?
I always buy singles.
Okay.
All the boxes that I get or open are only from tournament wins. I never usually open anything else, or rather buy anything else.
Yeah, that's fair. You open enough anyway, just by winning stuff. Not bad, not bad.
Usually, so I do make sure that I always have the cards covered by pre-ordering and stuff
Sure.
to be ready for any big tournament to make sure that I have the right cards for the right deck for the event.
Uh-huh. Cool. What's my next question? How do you analyze and test with new cards?
I usually just wait until they're available on PTCGO. Right now, like I'll take a look at the spoilers, but since there's so many tournaments now, like taking a look at future cards, I feel like only distracts me from the actual testing I should be doing with the actual cards right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I usually don't take a very detailed look at newer cards until all the relevant tournaments that I would be going to have already passed. And for example, for this new set, it comes out beginning of May, right?
Uh-huh.
But before it becomes legal, there's still Brazil with the same format. There's Utah with expanded, and there's Toronto and standard with the same format that we are currently playing. So focusing on a new possible deck, I feel like only distracts me from playing an actual or from focusing on the best deck for the current meta.
Yeah, makes sense. And do you keep a close eye on the Japanese meta or not really?
I do. I try to pay attention to anything that gets posted or translated regarding what they're doing because it's relevant for our expanded most of the time, but also it can be relevant to standard.
Yeah.
I definitely started playing Zorak Lycanroc because I saw it was successful in their meta.
Sure.
I never like pursued the concept as it is right now. But like I do try to pay attention to what they're doing because it's like they're doing testing for you, right? They
Yeah.
already have the new cards they already played and they already had success with them. So like it's not a coincidence, right?
Yeah.
The one flop I feel like was Buzzwole with the item with the tool that lets you hit for weakness. Like that looked so good
Oh
in
yeah.
theory. I won the tournament against Orc and blah blah. But when I tried it out, it sucked really bad. Like
Cool.
it
That
was
wide
intended
lens.
to beat Zorg and it couldn't beat Zorg. So I was like, what?
Oh dear. Do you subscribe to any article websites?
Um, I don't. I write for Six Prizes, so I have a subscription for that. But that's the only thing.
Am I dead here? 170.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I
dead.
so because I can knock out both Trovishes and Lele, right?
That sounds pretty good to me. 7 goes
Yeah.
here, 1 goes here. Yeah, you got me. I'll save you the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please don't make me click 25 times and 75 times to knock you out.
Okay. Do you watch or listen to much Pokemon-based content?
I definitely watch every video you upload.
Oh boy.
What do you mean, oh boy?
I don't throw that question in just to get that sort of ego boost, but I'll
No,
take
no,
it.
I know. Yeah, like your content is really good.
Cheers.
I especially enjoy the videos that you make where you're not playing PTCGO.
Right.
I wish I had the patience to do more of those.
Uh-huh.
I'm just deciding what deck to play
Yeah,
against
that's
you.
fine.
I also really like the Super Rodcast. I'll check Team Fish Knuckles, especially Fan Friday, just to like disconnect and have a laugh.
Yeah, sure.
When Sacker Scoop bothers to upload videos, I watch them too. What
It's been
else?
down there for a while.
What else do I watch? I think that's pretty much it. I watch random Twitch streams sometimes. Whatever my channel is out of hosting, that's what I'll watch.
Cool. That's a good way to do it. That's a good way to do
Yeah.
it. What are your thoughts on live streams, actually, like the official ones, as both a player and a viewer? What do you think about them?
I think as a viewer, they're really cool, like all the graphics and everything. I really enjoy going back to watch the streams. I feel like the commentators are a bit outdated and they need to like, not that they need to be replaced, they just need to actually like play more games and be more knowledgeable of the meta.
Okay.
I feel like that's one of their weaknesses, and that's why they get like some criticism.
Sure.
But if they worked on their knowledge of the game, like you actively do,
Yeah.
the streams would be of higher quality for casual and non-casual viewers. And then as a player, I love it. Like I've been playing for so long, and the first time I ever got streamed at an official event was Worlds just last year. So I was very excited for it. And sure, like the white noise is annoying. There are a lot of annoying things, but they're part of it. And to me, it felt like I was just happy and exhilarated to be there. Because the white noise eventually just becomes that white noise, and you don't even pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Your brain blocks it out. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I enjoy watching it, and I enjoy getting featured. Like I wish I was featured more times. I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Cool. That's really cool. Good to hear that, actually. Because so you've only been on stream once or twice.
So I got streamed at Worlds just for one round, and then I was in the backup stream with Diego for our top 8 match, but he beat me so fast that we didn't get a chance to be on there. Yeah, I did through both games. It's like nothing to do there.
Yeah.
And then and then what else? In Memphis,
Yeah.
they had the official stream, and I got featured there for the first round that they featured, and then I believe 3 more times in day 2.
Wow.
So it's been 4 times total
Not bad at all.
for me. Yeah.
So you said maybe some casters could brush up on the game itself. Is there any other thing that you could think about to improve the experience of watching the streams or even playing in them?
For me in particular, no. I genuinely think that like people are watching, but like you also want to listen to good analysis, good ideas, etc. So so sometimes like not having that knowledge, which comes from actually playing the game and stuff, definitely takes away from the stream. And it's very easy to tell who is an active player, who still keeps up with everything, and who doesn't. So, like, it's not that their style of casting is bad. It's not that their voice has anything wrong with it. It's just it's very clear when you're not actively competitively playing and when you aren't. But I also understand that casters are casting and not playing, so it's like a balance, right?
Yeah, that's true. Alrighty. What would you say is your lowest point playing Pokemon?
Lowest point in terms of results, or in
Just
terms of
maybe you've had a bad beat or felt really down or just had a negative experience maybe. What's the worst? Maybe you've come home after a tournament and felt, man, that just wasn't even fun.
well, anytime I play a league challenge, I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Um, because like I know I'm gonna replace it with a cup.
Yeah.
Um, what else? Like I felt really bad when I lost at Worlds this past year. It was a mirror match, and I didn't have a chance to actually play the game.
Right.
You know, it's like I just dead drew both games.
Yeah.
Like never stood a chance against his really good setup. So that was a bit like after that I was like, oh, I really don't want to I don't want to do anything Pokemon related for a while. But next weekend I was at a League Cup, and the weekend after that I was at 4-point regionals already. So those lapses of I'm not feeling well only last for like a couple of days.
Sure.
Basically, anytime I don't do well at a tournament, and by well I mean like making day 2 and stuff.
Yeah.
Immediately my feelings are, I need a break. I don't want to do this anymore. Blah blah. But then 2 days later, I'm back at it. So yeah,
Just can't stay away.
yeah, I can't stay away.
All right. What about favorite moment? Maybe not just best result. Maybe like seeing someone else do well, or like you said, being on stream, something like that. What would you say is your favorite moment playing Pokemon?
I was genuinely happy this past Worlds when one of my friends, when the only other Mexican player who made day 2, he grinded through day 1.
Yeah.
His name is Juan.
Okay.
Because he had an agreement with his wife that if he didn't make day 2, then he would have to give Pokemon a break for a year.
Oh no.
And then, so when he made day 2, I was genuinely happy that
Yeah.
he wasn't going to have to take a break from Pokemon.
Oh, that's high stakes that he put on himself.
Yeah, exactly. But then he made it. And
Yeah.
apparently, the agreement was that if he did make it, she would let him. She would let him travel to regionals and maybe with me throughout the season. But then that part hasn't hasn't happened yet. But he has a son and everything, so I know he has other things to do. But yeah, I was genuinely happy for him because I know it meant a lot to him.
Yeah. God, that is a really good story actually. It's a shame that she's not held up her end of the deal. Oh well.
No, and I mean I know it's because they have other responsibilities.
Yeah,
Not
of
that
course.
she hasn't met him, it's because yeah, no, let's not bash the wife. She's really cool.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any hobbies outside of Pokemon?
I love playing soccer
Okay.
or football.
Yeah.
And then I enjoy the occasional video game. I feel like my attention span is definitely not the same as it was when I was younger for them. But I do enjoy, like I bought a Switch to have that for all the flights that I'm doing, for all the tournaments. That's been fun. But something in particular, I used to paint. Like the last time I painted something was like 5 years ago or something. So I do like that, and I want to get back on that.
Right.
I just haven't had either the time or the motivation to do it because it's also like a personal thing that like a lot of weird feelings involved with that. but yeah, that's something I eventually want to start doing again. Painting, painting with oleum.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's something I don't think many people would know about you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's definitely not something many people would know.
Alrighty. Um, do you have any role models in or outside of the game?
Um, well, Jason Klasinski, as I
Hmm.
mentioned at the beginning, like he's my role model. I feel like his statistical approach to the game or his mathematical approach to the game is what I try to do.
Yeah.
Um, like every day that I play. Always a big fan of him. And then outside of Pokemon, there's a lot of footballers that I admire.
Okay.
Like Didier Drogba.
Oh yes.
Uh, he's not only amazing as a player, but like he ended a civil war in his country, and it's like that because of like he gave out all the money that he was earning from playing football. Like he realizes that he doesn't need $1 million every week to have an okay lifestyle, right?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, that's a knockout.
He's big.
I overdid that last energy. Oopsies. Um, so yeah, I really admire him based on like not only his football skills but also his approach to helping others,
Yeah.
which I feel is something very important and something very lacking in the world overall.
Nice.
And I don't have any other way to get another Dustmate because the other one is priced, so I'm gonna consider.
Okay. This leads me on actually to my next question quite nicely because I know you're a Chelsea fan. Are there any other sports that you follow or any teams that you really look out for?
Honestly, no. I root for Real Madrid just because my brother likes Barcelona. So, and I hate Barcelona with a passion. So, because they've stolen so much from Chelsea.
They have. I'm a Chelsea fan as well, so
Yeah,
you're in my
there
good
you go.
books.
Yeah. So I really hate Barcelona. Therefore, I also root for Real Madrid.
Cool.
But honestly, no. I don't follow the local club I follow is well that I root for is America, but the same. Like I do that just because my dad used to root for them, and just because everyone hates America. So it's like it's fun for like discussion purposes or generating um, chaos
Yeah,
within a football discussion. But
sure.
outside of that, I only follow Chelsea.
Cool.
I do sometimes I'll go up at 6 a.m. to watch a Chelsea match
Oh,
if
wow.
it's worth it. Like if it's against Manchester Cities or United or Arsenal and stuff.
Sure. Have you ever been to Stamford Bridge?
Yeah, I went to Stamford Bridge. Outside of Stamford Bridge, I went in 2012, but I haven't seen a match yet there.
Oh,
Uh,
dude.
yeah,
I'll have
I
to take you
know.
sometime.
Yeah, I didn't know you were a fan.
Yeah.
Um, but I took the tour of the stadium at the London International in 2016,
Hmm.
and I went to see Manchester City Chelsea, but at Manchester City.
Ah, okay. That's
But
cool.
yeah, now that I know that you are a Chelsea fan, we're definitely gonna go to
Yeah.
a match time I'm in London.
I'm a season
And
ticket holder, so it's
oh wow,
actually really
okay,
easy. Yeah.
see, that's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
like my next London trip will be based around whenever Chelsea plays.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. We'll actually sort something out. Cool.
Yeah, please.
What about a band or artist? Do you have a favorite?
Ooh, honestly, I've never been a big music fan. Um, I don't particularly like care or enjoy much of music. Like it's
Okay.
just something that is irrelevant to me.
Right.
That was very frustrating for my dad because he was a big musician.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I generally like I'll just listen whatever is popular.
Okay.
So I had like uh, a Taylor Swift like época. Ugh, I can't speak English today. A Taylor Swift time, Blink 182 time, a Green Day time. It's like it's just whatever is on, whatever
Sure.
is popular. That's what I listen to sometimes.
Fair enough. What about favorite book?
Favorite book? Okay, so my favorite book that I hate the author is the King Killer Chronicles series. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's
No.
a fantasy book.
Okay.
Sometimes it's compared to Game of Thrones,
Right.
which I also really enjoy.
Hmm.
So it's a three-book series on a like not a wizard, but like a guy where magic is part of the world, and they have a school where they learn to use it and work it. It's a lot darker than Harry Potter, um, and it's really good. But the guy said it's a trilogy, and we've been waiting for the third book for 11 years, I think, or something like that. Yeah, so I hate myself because I started reading it before the guy finished it.
Oh no.
So annoying.
It's even worse than
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. Even longer.
It's the same. I think they compare. I think the last Game of Thrones book came out the same date,
Oh
like the
wow.
same year as the second book of this guy.
Oh, that's crazy.
Uh, yeah, it's like that's been very very annoying. Yeah,
Alrighty.
that's my favorite series, the King Killer Chronicles. It's like the books are so good, and I will reread them at least once a year. But then once I'm done with the second book, I'm like, darn, I should not have done this.
You just gotta, yeah, you just need more. Oh well.
Yeah.
What about favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? There are a lot that I enjoy.
Mhm.
Um, Game of Thrones would probably be my favorite one, simply because they're gonna finish the story and before the author, so I'll get to find out what happens
Yeah, that's
instead
good.
of waiting for like 30 years for the last book to come out. I also enjoy the the series based on the event. Well, the Marvel heroes. I forgot the name.
Something Avenger.
The,
What's it called? Agents of
uh,
Shield.
Yeah, Agents of Shield,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I enjoy that. I haven't seen the last season because I'm waiting until they have all the episodes and then I'll watch it.
Okay.
Um, and then I really like Friends. I really like How I Met Your Mother as well.
Okay.
Um, Big Bang Theory is also fun, but my favorite definitely Game of Thrones.
Nice. What about film?
Film, um, my favorite absolute film ever is The Butterfly Effect.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like I'm personally always thinking about like the what if.
Sure.
So um that movie touches on the what if you actually had a chance to see all the what ifs, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Um, so I don't know, it's always been a very compelling movie for me.
Yeah, it's a cool one. What about favorite non-Pokemon related video game?
Banjo Kazooie by far.
Oh, mate. Oh,
Banjo Kazooie is the best video game ever. Like
so
that's the
true.
one video game I can sit down to play for hours. Everything else, like I can't play for more than an hour straight, or maximum two. But
Oh,
Banjo Kazooie was my like I have the fondest memories with that game. I love it. I absolutely love it.
you actually just made me so happy when you said that. That's actually amazing. I love that
And
game.
did you see the ukulele game that came
Yeah,
out?
yeah.
I tried playing it and it didn't capture me. Like
Oh,
I was so looking forward to playing it, and then like the first level just felt like such a grind.
hmm.
Um, and I don't know, it didn't have the same magic.
Damn. That's a
Yeah.
shame.
Have you played it?
No, I haven't played it. I saw it though. I should have picked it up.
Okay. I mean, maybe you want to give it a chance, but I particularly didn't enjoy it.
Damn. Okay. What about favorite food?
Um, I'm biased towards Mexican food, but like I'm sure 99% of the people listening to this will not like have not tasted actual real Mexican food.
Right.
Tacos al pastor, if you can Google that, tacos al pastor, that's the best food ever.
Hmm.
That's my favorite dish by far. And like when I lived in Brazil, I in ranking of what I missed the most, it was tacos al pastor and then my family. I spent 6 months in Brazil without tacos al pastor, and since I came back 3 years ago, if I have an option to choose food, I will always choose Pastor every time. It's
Okay.
like it's the best thing ever.
So what makes that special? Is it like a filling or what is it?
No, it's like it's pork meat
Okay.
with a special like spice that you can only get in Mexico, I guess.
Okay.
It's just I can't tell you exactly what makes it so special, but
Okay.
it's amazing. It's the
Perfect.
most delicious food ever. If you're ever here for Mexico City Regional or something like that,
Yeah.
I will make sure you get some.
Alrighty. All right. What about a favorite actor and actress? I guess we can do both.
Um, huh. Never really thought about that. Because I'm really bad at paying attention to actresses. The girl who played Catwoman in the last Batman movie of the good trilogy.
Oh,
Uh,
what's her name? Anne
Anne,
something.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne
Yeah,
Hathaway. Yeah.
I really like her. I really like her, and I like the guy from the Taken movie as well.
Oh, Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson. Those, I would say those are my two favorite actors and actresses.
Cool. Can't go wrong. What about a comedian? Are you much of a comedy guy?
No, I generally couldn't name a single comedian right now.
Okay. You don't watch any live stuff? Anything like that?
No, I know like my girlfriend has shown me a few stand-up comedy
Uh-huh.
shows, but I couldn't name you the name of any of them. Like I enjoyed them, but I just don't remember their names.
Yeah. Alrighty. Do you have any pets?
I do not have any pets, no.
All right. Have you ever had pets?
I have had. I've only ever had one dog
Okay.
when I was a teenager,
Hmm.
and his name was Paver, which was a combination of my name Pablo and my brother's name Bernardo.
Okay.
He was a very cute golden retriever that got
Uh,
stolen from us.
no. Oh man, I'm sorry I
Uh,
brought it up. Okay.
it's okay. It's okay.
So you just mentioned your brother. Is he your only sibling, or do you have more?
Yeah, he's my only sibling.
Alrighty. Is he older or younger?
He is 5 years younger.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Last couple of questions here. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
To fly.
Okay.
No doubt about it. I would love to be able to fly.
All right. Nice. And final question. As a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to make video games. I wanted to make video games for a living. I imagine myself. I like video games so much that I figured making them would mean I would get to be playing all day and, and being creative all day. So that's why I wanted to go to Silicon Valley to study programming and create video games.
Well, you got pretty close. I mean, what you're doing right now isn't far away. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, I know. 10 or 12-year-old Pablo would be pretty proud of, of where we're at right now.
Good job. Good job. Made yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. All right, let's just round out this game because we're pretty close to the end. But
Okay.
that's all the questions
Yeah.
I have for you. So the floor is yours if you want to do any shout outs or talk about sponsors or anything like that.
Yeah. Shout out to Juyo for doing this series. It's like a really cool idea.
Thank you.
Shout out to Soccer Scoop for sponsoring me. All the help they've given me throughout the season has been amazing. Shout out to Tabletop Village as well. I know they really believe in my Tablemon project, and I really appreciate their kindness and their thoughts. Shout out to Ultimate Card as well for all the support they've given me over the last year. And shout out to all the Tablemon
Hey.
people. I don't know if I would call them fans or, but yeah, like all the people that support me, that follow me, like they're amazing, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do without them. So, at least 50% of like the success I've had, the motivation that I have, goes to them. So it's been an amazing ride, especially the last year where I've been doing this full time, and I really appreciate. I wish I could thank each and every one of them.
Ah. Well, there you go. We wrapped that up pretty perfectly. Thanks so much again, Pablo, for coming on. And I'm
Thank
sure
you
we'll
too.
talk soon and somehow find a Chelsea game together. So
Yeah.
that'll be it for
And
today's. Oh, go on. You good?
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Yeah, that'll be it for today's OmniPoke versus series. Next week will be a new guest. Don't know who yet, but we'll figure it all out. So stay tuned for another video. Cheers.